Okay. What's up? Hopefully at least the overlay thing will work. Yes. I really don't know what's going on, but something seems to be really messed up with how my bot, being streamer bot, interacts with YouTube specifically, because for Twitch it seems to work fine. It's kind of difficult to troubleshoot everything. So I'm not even sure if this command will work. It does not. It's supposed to show a message in my YouTube stream. I mean in the YouTube chat, of course. Something is very wrong there. I hope at least my alerts work, even if it's just in chat. I'd be fine if the on-screen stuff doesn't work, as long as I know somehow when someone subscribes / follows. Hang on. Because I posted on Reddit. Hello, Jido. How are you? Just a tiny bit of troubleshooting because some stuff with YouTube chat doesn't seem to work. Goo. There's no real way to test this other than during actual live streams, because YouTube doesn't, you know, on Twitch you can test things while not streaming because the chat is always running. But on YouTube you can't unless you do an unlisted live stream or a private one. Gonna try a few more things and then I'll just have to accept that not all things work as they should. Nope. Okay. And this. Just to make sure if it works on Twitch at least. Yeah, I really don't know. It's exactly the same setup between Twitch and YouTube, like the same action to fire the Discord's response thing. Very puzzling. Wait. just because I can and because I know how to do it. I mean, because I have the instructions in front of me now. I'm gonna try one last thing. I promise. I know this is not what you signed up for when you started watching this stream. I don't even know how to do it. Logic. Wait, so like so equals I really don't know what I'm doing. True. Just a few more seconds of messing around, and then I promise I'll get back to actually playing the game. Okay. Final test. If this doesn't work, I have no idea. No. That's very annoying. Okay, then I don't know. Onwards and upwards. It's only been 10 minutes. Might as well start. I forget where I left off. Newport was all done task-wise. Mountain River. The contests. It was a painful hiccup. Do I have a scout here? No. Okay, then we will start from the Northport garage. It's hard to say if chains would help for that contest. I'd like to do the... well, both of them, really. Both contests in Mountain River, which are still to be done. Game is a bit choppy. Which begs the question if maybe it is a bit too hot. No. The temps are fine. It's been happening pretty frequently lately that I mean that games run much worse for me. I think on the stream it should be a bit better. Yeah, this is really not great. Curious what the FPS are actually like. That was way too big of a crash for the speed we crashed at. It's especially weird because I don't have more stuff running than usual. Surely Notepad can't hog too many resources. Curious what the FPS are like, and I don't know if I can enable the Steam overlay thingy now. I'm not even sure where you would need to turn it on. But this is kind of unplayable right now. I mean, that's an exaggeration. It's playable, it's just not really pleasant. But I believe this is the first time we're taking the Loadstar out. It's been a while since I played. I mean, it's been a week or so since I played the save. I've been streaming some other games as well. As what usually tends to happen seems to be happening, being that I have to be careful not to get burned out on SnowRunner if I play it too much. I'm gonna check if I can find that overlay thing. Surely it should be easy to set up. Hey, yo, chill, how are you? Hello. I'm just looking for the Steam FPS overlay, because my game is not running great at all. And I don't think it's the heat, because my PC is not running especially hot. Short performance monitor. Top left. Let's do top center, because top left has other stuff. It's very hard not to look at it now. I might turn it off in a second. But yeah, like, most of the time it's fine. It does dip quite a bit to mid 30s Okay, I'm gonna turn it off again because it's really too distracting. Could set a hotkey, but I don't know. I always get a bit anxious when setting hotkeys because I'm afraid I'll overwrite some existing one which I need. Okay, so I don't care about time, as with any contest. I tried this once and got very much stuck and had to cancel. What I think I'll do is... It's not cheating, it's just thinking ahead. River contests. Yeah, just try to mark where they are, although I feel like the locations on the map are not all that accurate. Okay, just give it a go. That was my best impression of a Geordie accent. I used to watch a lot of QI, like every time when I was making dinner. I just had it on my phone off to the side with my headphones on. And especially episodes where I get stuck. And also ones where Ross Noble was in the panel. Those are always some of the best ones. Why am I even going off to the side? Focusing too much on the flags instead of the boxes. Yeah. It's a deceptive challenge because it seems like just a cruise down the river, but it's so difficult just because of the cockpit view that I can't see where I'm supposed to go. Because that ice is messing me up. Might be just lack of chains that's the real issue here. Yeah, I mean, I'm well on my way to having to abandon it a second time because this is just terrible. Trying to winch out onto the right bank, but yeah. It's just not happening. There. I can't reach that. What is it? Birch? Beech? Tree? No, I'm barely even moving. Oh yeah, through here, it's just not gonna work. I hate Alaska challenges. The ones in Michigan are so easy. It's almost hard to not get gold. But the ones in Alaska are just the absolute worst. Because it's the ice, man. I just can't winch out of this river because the ice is too tall. I don't know what to do. Genuinely. I don't even know what truck I should be using for this, because I don't really think any of them are gonna be better. Wheel size seems to be kind of a big factor. I know the Loadstar has kind of relatively tiny wheels. This sucks. It's almost making me regret playing SnowRunner today. What are you even supposed to do? Suggestions are welcome. Like, I assume I have to use a scout for this. But maybe not. It doesn't say scout required, just cockpit view, so maybe I should try this in the Royal. Seems like overkill, but it should do better. Get rid of this heap of trash. I jest, of course, it's not a heap of trash. I do like the Loadstar a lot. It's just kind of pissing me off right now for this specific thing. Maybe it is just chains. Maybe I was focusing on the wrong thing just then. And it's not so much about wheel size at all, just any vehicle with chains. And kind of intact wheels, preferably. Yep. I'm guessing that refers to the chain comment. I think I'm just gonna go straight for the cat for the other contest here, the uphill one. I just want to get it over with. Okay. I really forget how I did this the first time. I think I used the Chevy. Maybe the Hummer. Okay, that's one. The easiest one, perhaps. No subtleties, no... Well, that's not good. Come on, you beast. No strategies, just... the Clarkson way of max power. Which I guess is not the way to go, because I'm stuck. Come on, man. Even with the winch, like... the current doesn't seem to be that strong, but... oh. Yeah. Being in the right gear tends to help. Again, that's not gonna do it. I'm trying not to go straight in the middle, because that's where I get stuck. In between these two... I mean, in between the two banks. Trying to get out this way. Yeah, see. This ice is too high. I can't do it. How do you have to... Forgive me for being so cheesed off right out the gate. Can you not select different winch points on the vehicle? Or you can. Take me away from this hellhole. Come on, for God's sake, what? Jesus freaking Christ. I don't know how you're supposed to do that correctly. And not spending 5 minutes just on those 2 checkpoints. That was just terrible. Can I even fit through here? I guess I'm supposed to go across here. I've never looked forward more to just doing regular missions. Okay, Jesus. This one next. I forget if ice tires really help that much. By ice tires, I mean chains. Still missing this task as well. Is there a repair place? I always forget, because I never really used them actively, but I forget which points, like if service hubs fix your vehicle. I forget that you can do that, which is why I never think to use them. Yeah, timed message from Twitch, because the ones on YouTube don't work. As mentioned before, some stuff is happening with my YouTube bot. You know, with my YouTube bot, essentially. It is logged in, it is connected, so it should work, but it's not. Can be frustrating. You mean, I guess you're talking about the game, not about bot messages. But this is gonna end up by the roadblock. Yeah. I don't know why I was still in first person there. All of it, yeah. Especially because the YouTube thing for my bot did work. Like even after I switched to streamer bot, I'm fairly sure it was working for a time and then it didn't anymore. Even though nothing has really changed as far as I know. I mean, things did change because I tried to fix it. Yeah, sign. Send me the invoice. And my company will get back to you in 4 to 6 months. which is still very reasonable, I'd say. Still a bit choppy. Is the stream smooth at least? Because if the stream is fine, I can live with the choppiness in my game. But if the stream is also very unsmooth, that's a bigger problem. I kind of fail to see how the game can be choppy for me, but the stream can still be smooth, because the stream is broadcasting the game. So it doesn't really compute. Might be a graphics driver thing. Surely that must be it, because I'm just making it make sense to me. Because the game runs internally. No, that's not where I need to go. The game runs internally on my computer and then gets sent out. So the lag must be occurring on the monitor end, perhaps. No, that doesn't make sense, because the frame rates are also dropping in the game, so I don't know. I'm gonna try this up the hill thing. Jesus, that was very bad. I'm gonna try it here. By here, I mean with the Royal. Delay. No, it's... I mean, the delay seems kind of fine, actually. It's just bad performance of the game, like a lot of frame drops. This is where I will need to go up and down. My first thought was that maybe it's just too hot, which makes my PC run too hot, which causes performance issues, but that's not really it. That was very not smart. Yeah. Just brake already. No. This tree does not want to brake. Is it gonna be one of those days where everything I try just goes to hell? So far, that seems to be the case. It's gonna be a crane thing. Probably, even though it doesn't say you need a crane. You do. Is that bad game design? or like an oversight. I remember doing this on PlayStation in the cat by reversing uphill and going forwards down the hill, so doesn't really matter. Come on, man. These branches. I don't even know what the required time is for gold, which is a good thing because then I can't fixate on it. But yeah, chains are not ideal for this one. I thought it would be more rocky and less muddy. Okay, that was not at all what I wanted to do. Is this a stupid idea to begin with? Winch straight to there and hope I don't tip. It's not my day. No need to rub it in. I know I failed as soon as I went sideways. What is that marker? Oh, still from the upgrade that was there. I was hoping to be in Northport. I'm telling myself it doesn't make that much of a difference to go from here to the contests. I'm pretty sure from Northport is shorter. I've been told all-wheel drive makes a difference for grip on ice roads. Can't really confirm or deny, but I choose to be gullible. I know I shouldn't keep mentioning it, but it's really bothering me that the YouTube chat bot stuff is not working properly. I spend a lot of time setting all that up and then when it doesn't work, it's just, you know, it's one thing that something doesn't work. It's a different matter if I don't understand why it doesn't work. Especially with something like StreamerBot, because it can be quite complex. The things I have set up in StreamerBot are all fairly simple. But I was getting suggestions on Reddit to try certain things which normally I wouldn't try because I don't fully understand how they work. With the if-then statements and more advanced programming stuff. Not necessarily programming, just programming adjacent stuff with logic. Maybe it's as simple as logging out and back in. I'll give that a try when I get to the gate. I don't think it can mess anything up much worse than it already is. I'm stuck against the bridge. I couldn't steer right because my wheels were very slightly clipped into the railing. Okay. So just 2 seconds. If I log my bot out and back in. I don't assume that's gonna fix anything, but, you know. Nope. It is spelled correctly, the command, yeah. Would be nice if the timed messages did work, but they also don't. So surely it must be some kind of connection issue where YouTube can't see what StreamerBot is doing. Is it raining? No. Just windy because We only have one window in our bedroom. Like a... Is it called a skylight? A window in the roof. I'm not sure if a skylight is a window in a slanted roof or in a horizontal roof, or just in horizontal ones. Anyway, there's like something that the previous tenants installed, a bunch of magnets along the edge, and then a sheet of mesh also with magnets. Is this the way? Yeah. But when it gets too windy, the whole thing just gets blown off, as it did now. It's not the worst, at least. There's some breeze coming through now. I feel like it doesn't seem like it would make much of a difference, but the whole mesh is kind of clogged with pollen just from never being cleaned. And even though I would find it hard to believe that that can stop a lot of wind coming through, it does seem to be the case. Okay, whatever you do, don't tip here. I think I'm gonna try the reverse strategy. It does make this challenge much easier, using the cat, that is. It also kind of makes it harder because it's so cumbersome to maneuver. But with a bit of deft winching, should be fine. Try not to miss any checkpoints, because then we lose precious time, which we don't care about, but still kinda do care about. Wait, because I want to line myself up properly. I don't want to get stuck on top of that rock in the middle. Actually doing pretty well. I'm not gonna assume we'll get gold. I imagine the timing is pretty tight. But now, whoops, we can just barrel back down the hill. Kind of. It's not really barreling, is it? Come on. Yes. Well, fortune strikes for the first time this stream. Right, moving swiftly along. But that reminds me, I have to check, but I'm pretty sure I did find all the upgrades last time. Yeah, 23 out of 23. There were a bunch of hidden ones, which I had to consult MapRunner for. I didn't have to, I chose to use MapRunner to find all the missing ones. Which means we have the advanced special. And I'm sure there was other stuff. Yeah, this. I don't know how much money I should spend on this truck because I haven't used it before. Yeah, anyway, I think it's always such a thing to think if I need chains or not. Because it's just these three things we went through here earlier. Chains probably help, but I don't think they're necessary. Then again, is it worth the risk? Probably not, so let's leave the chains on. With flatbed, I don't like that I have to keep buying flatbeds because I'm sure I had a few, I just forget on which truck they were. Where? It is currently 4:06. I think I'm gonna go till 5:30/6-ish. That was strangely phrased even for me. (5:30-6-ish). 6-ish. Then I'm gonna have dinner. But since I have the whole evening to myself, I can stream some more after dinner. It's probably not gonna be more SnowRunner. The two main contenders are Subnautica, which I already played yesterday, or Stardew Valley. If you have a preference, do let me know. I will take any help I can get in deciding what game to play, because even when I sit down to stream and I'm about to set everything up, I can spend like 10 minutes just staring at my Steam list, thinking what to play. Could also play some Cairn, but I think I want to wait with Cairn. That would specifically be trying to get 100% I've mentioned it before, but it's essentially another, or the better part of another playthrough. I don't think I have to finish the game fully. Like, I don't think I have to make it all the way through the story to get 100%, but it's just a lot of stuff I missed in the first playthrough. And it's a very linear game, so can't really skip ahead. But yeah, likely... Actually, I'm not gonna say anything now, because then I'll just feel obligated to play whatever I say I will play later. I'll just let the moment decide, unless you have a strong preference. Then I will do my best to adhere to that. I forget how you get to the river. Probably down here. I know this is maybe a bit of a sketchy thing. Down here seems probably doable. Sorry, I should have muted for that scooter outside. It's always the very loud scooters that seem to move at a snail's pace. Is there a dumb way to do this? I think it makes sense to reverse up to the far one. Yep, it's fine. Handbrake, anchor, crane. Sloppy. Come on, what am I doing? Not pretty, but it does not matter, fortunately. FYI, in case you're seeing all these messages from Twitch on screen from the bot that does work. The link to the Discord is also in the description on YouTube. if enough people are there, like active on the Discord, might be nice to do polls on what game I should play. Because now, very often I have to guess. I feel like SnowRunner is always the safest choice of the, you know, of the games I play most often. But for occasions where I don't really feel like playing SnowRunner myself, polls would help. Sorry. I lost my train of thought mid-sentence. That's a new low for me. On days where I don't feel like playing SnowRunner, it would probably help me decide what game to play. Okay, those two, and then just the one. The one bricks to rule them all. I'm trying to make a clever, what's the word, spoof of the whole one ring speech bit. Not speech, but you know. Bind them, bring them, bind them, no. Find them, bring them, bind them. Why do I keep honking when I want to change camera modes? This is not a game that should rely a lot on muscle memory, but still I feel like it's not really clicking anymore. One bricks to find them, one bricks to crane them, and in the snow and mud tip them. That was terrible. Sometimes I can be off the cuff, humorous, but yeah, today is not such a day. Okay, unless there is still some hidden mystery task somewhere on this map, I'd say that's it for this one. What would be next? Pedro Bay still has a few tasks and one contest. Drowned Car. Seems easy enough, just get it out here and then along here to there. Lost tools, that's crane, which we do have. This is also crane for... Oh yeah, there was one, whatever this is, the oil barrels just lying around on the floor, and then 2 planks for which you don't need a crane. Yeah. It's weird. Sometimes when I don't play SnowRunner for a week or longer, when I get back to it, I treat it too much like a game where physics don't really exist, and you know, pretty much like it's off-road GTA. It's not a very accurate comparison, it's the best I can do. I just drive all carelessly and never expect to have any accidents. This is gonna be blocked, or not, no. I always get turned around with this blockade. I keep forgetting on what road it is and where on the road. Like high up the road, how high up the road. Is there a way to refuel? Not really. Maybe not necessary, but I think it will be necessary if we do both those, or all 3 of those tasks in one go. Might even have to get some kind of fuel-equipped scout out there. I was trying to read the load screen message. There was no time. First world problem. Okay, in here. Should probably try to drive a bit more fuel efficiently. I guess it's just this way, right? Yep. Road closed, that's a lie. I fixed the bridge. Maybe they'll fix it in 4 to 6 business months. Right. A bit careful through here because it's very deep mud. So deep, you need a snorkel. Or even a scuba tank. Is there a way to combine these tasks, I wonder? Oh, and we still have family treasure, which we have to discover. That's all the way here. That doesn't really make sense. Where does that need to go? Yeah, I think I'm gonna... Wait, I can do this Hummer thing. And then on the way from here to there, I can pick up this. And drop it off here, then pick up the oil barrels here. But I'm gonna have to do whatever it's called. Nope. This one I will have to do in 2 goes anyway, because it's 3 slots of cargo. Okay. Wanted to winch, accidentally turned off the engine. Right. Wait. Yeah, that was my bad. I can go through here for that family task. At least be somewhat efficient. Just release that for a sec. Except this. What is it? Curtain side trailer. Also not too difficult. The long way round. Or maybe across the ford here. I feel myself overthinking it trying to do as many things, or trying to do all these tasks as efficiently as possible with as few wasted trips as possible. Mostly for fuel reasons. Like, I don't really care how long things take. But I don't think there are any fuel trailers here. Definitely no fuel station. Yeah, actually, just for this bit, I think I want to take the trailer across here. It looks more difficult, but it's really not. Have the right thing tracked. Arguably, for any of these tasks, chains aren't really necessary. Because it's all mud except the very top road. Road, rather. Voiced and unvoiced consonants are less of a thing in Dutch. So naturally, native Dutch. That was the opposite of what I needed to explain. Dutch, native Dutch speakers would say road, not road. I'm going to drag the trailer along the road. That was very exaggerated. And that was Netherlands Dutch. Flemish would be something else entirely. Going to drag the trailer along the road. Okay. I feel like I'm spiraling out of control with my ramblings. Oh, there is a fuel tanker. I think I said tranker. Tanker, trailer, tranker. It's not super conveniently located, but it helps. So then this... yeah. $55 miles per hour. Just checking to see if that's even safe. Yeah. I think that makes sense. Oh. Yeah. Luckily, no one saw that. Is it through here? Yeah, must be. That's very deep, though. It's not so bad. It looked deeper than it is because it's very... like there are hills of snow, if that makes sense. It's not just a smooth layer. Yeah. Restore some of the fastest craning I've ever done. Blink and you'll miss it. If anyone is currently also playing SnowRunner, or any other game for that matter, I'd be curious to hear what... Yeah, this is very dangerous. Very easy to not see that in time, and then before you know it, you're sideways. I feel like sideways is not the right word in this context, because that would mean just on the y-axis rotation. I don't know how axes work in 3D. Because the front to back, I assume, is X. Left to right, is that Z, or is top to bottom Z? Playing SnowRunner. Tried Farming Sim 25 or Roadcraft. Neither of those. Also, YouTube is really acting up, because now I saw your message in my stream preview, but not in my docked YouTube chat. Which is very strange. Oh, yeah. Stupid YouTube messing up my streams. Wiggle chip. I apologize for not responding sooner. I did not see your message. Always nice to watch. Very relaxing voice. Thank you. I should mention I don't take, or I'm not good at accepting compliments. I just kind of brush them aside when that's not the right thing to do. It's a very nice thing to hear. But yeah, I haven't played any farming sims or Roadcraft. I did consider Roadcraft. I looked into it when it was kind of new-ish. Or even when it was not even released yet. I don't think it's my kind of game, really. I'd be more inclined to try Expeditions before Roadcraft. Because Roadcraft seems, in my opinion, based on what I like and don't like in games, Roadcraft seems to be the things I don't really like about SnowRunner and less of the things I do like, which is the actual driving. The one thing I do like about roadcraft generally is that you can fix roads, which is kind of the point, but in the community I feel like one of the most, if not the most common complaints about SnowRunner is that like none of the road clearing things really work. You can clear stuff out of the road, but then it reappears. Even when it doesn't make sense, like when it would make sense that it's permanently fixed. I don't think I knew there was a farming 25. Also, I like that you wrote farming sin. Is farming sin trying to be funny again? What would farming sins be? Going in diagonal lines, perhaps? I think I'm gonna try and get the trailer out now, because then I can take... Wait, because I forget where this needs to go. Yeah, I think that makes sense. Because we can take the trailer, then across the thing here. Deliver the trailer, deliver the barrels, and then back here for the wood planks. I like it. It's simple, it's efficient. It doesn't require much brain power. Thank you. These trees, these Alaska trees, are way too strong. Maybe they're frozen solid, or I was gonna say mummified, fossilized. It's the most random memory, but I used to have, or my dad used to have, a piece of fossilized wood, like bark, which I thought was the coolest thing in the world. Took it to school with me more than once in elementary school just to show it off. And I don't know if I ever, like if my dad said that I could have it, or if I just kind of claimed it as my own. It always used to be by our phone in my parental residence. Which sparks another random memory of like being on the phone in my parental home, because it was, of course, it was just a landline. Like, cell phones were barely a thing. And just the memory of standing in that corner where our phone was, and still is, I imagine. It's a weird thing to think about. not having a phone anywhere you go. And I messed up because I can't take this trailer with me. I could winch it, but I don't like to do that because it's kind of cheating. Does this have a crane? No, but it's probably not the best choice. Not sure what to do. The obvious thing is to winch the trailer to the delivery point and then get a different truck out here. But I am not gonna do that. Call it stubbornness, call it purism. I call it autism. Which I think I'm allowed to say because I am autistic. Diagnosed. Couldn't you tell from my awkward encounters? And the fact that I show zero emotion. Wait, because weren't there two more things? This one and this one. Because for the second part of this one, we don't need a crane really, because it's just picking up stuff from a dock. So I think I'm gonna very much overthinking. I could take the A and K out. Surely that will still be useful here. The idea is that I don't really want to I don't want to bring trucks out here that I'll need in other maps. Like really, if I can, I would just take one truck out here and use it for all the stuff in Pedro Bay that I can use it for, and leave it in Pedro Bay. Because it's just a bit tedious to have to drive trucks from either garage to this map. And I just realized it's extra not good that my YouTube chat is acting up. Because then sometimes if the docked chat in OBS craps out and messages don't show up in there, then really the only way I can know that there are messages is if I keep a close eye on my preview, so I can see when messages show up there. Maybe I should change back to the chat overlay I had before. So it was a bit less elegant. But at least it had a sound. Should really maybe take note of things that are happening now so I can troubleshoot them later, because there's a chance I might forget. As in, make an alert. The thing is, I know how to set up a chat alert sound in StreamerBot. It's just that it's a bit tricky to route the audio so you don't... That came out weird. Audio. The audio. So you don't hear those alert sounds. Just me. Wait, because I will forget otherwise. Notepads. YouTube chat doc. Disconnecting, not showing messages. I'm considering recovering the Royal after I'm done with this. Taking the crane off because I much prefer this specific truck without a crane. And then maybe taking the Fleetstar out here as the Pedro Bay designated truck. Probably won't matter after we do these tasks. It's less likely we'll need a crane anyway for any of the contracts. But we might. Is it here? Yeah. I've never gone this way. Kind of killing me that I don't know if chat is just quiet or if it's broken. For the records, I've said it before, I'll say it again. I absolutely welcome lurkers. What I said was not a comment on the lack of chat, just on the not so good working of chat. I do have a lurk command, but I'm guessing that also won't work, but just for laughs. Nope. Wait. Okay, color me very confused, because that command does work. Then why in the devil doesn't the other one? Command triggered enabled yes criteria, lurk, YouTube message, etc. Discord, command triggered yes criteria, Discord, YouTube. I think I know what is the problem. Hang on. Because now that I have a wave of temporary inspiration as to what might be causing the thing not working. Because it might be a thing with the fact that there's a link in the response message. YouTube Live. Surely there should be something. Does it say anywhere in the stream settings if I can change that now? Kinda doubt it. Which is a bit annoying. So no. Wait. Apologies. Gaming will resume shortly. I just want to see if I paste the actual link directly in my YouTube chat. Okay, it does work. Kind of spamming my own stream. Because then if I... If I just take the link out of the streamer bot message... Annoyingly, the lurk response is also showing up in my Twitch chat, which I don't want. Multi-streaming is convenient and all, but it's convenient when it works. Okay, must be something to do with links then. So then all I really need to do, which I will make note of, is that in streamer bot I need to separate the lurk messages. Okay, sorry. 1,000 times sorry. Wood planks, 1, 2. Although what I just said maybe doesn't make total sense, because I'm guessing the bot's message with the Discord link doesn't show up because it's someone else posting a link in my chat. So I have the right to do so, but the bot doesn't. Even though I'd like it to, I'm not sure how to set that up so you know. So the bot at least is allowed to share links. Is it bad form to do so much technical troubleshooting during a stream? Probably. It just seems like such a hassle to stream, I mean to do an unlisted stream on YouTube just to check things. We have a bit of time left, so I think I do want to get another truck out here. Either one that can have crane and trailer and flatbed. Or perhaps... wait, thoughts are happening. Because maybe I should just get a truck out here with crane and low saddle. So this trailer. That's 2 metal beams. We just need 1. And that's all stuff from here. That should be fairly easy. Just 2 trips. 2 relatively short trips at that. Yeah, but first... I forget where all my trucks are. I don't think I want to use any of those. So here should be the White Western and the Fleet Star at least. No, where's my Fleet Star? hugely overthinking. The White Western I want to use more all around Alaska, around all of the maps. So it would have to be one I don't use much, which would be the Fleet Star. Ironically. Or the NK. Yeah. Oh, right. Well, I'll pick up the trailer when it's time to clear out all the trailers. I will give the off-road tires another go. I'm somewhat hesitant to use them. In terms of verbal stats, they're the same. Average, excellent, good. Average, excellent, good. But these are much wider in the rear, thus should be more stable than these narrow ones. Yeah, I'm not gonna put chains on this one. It's such a good off-road truck. It seems like a shame to put chains on it. And I feel like all of my trucks currently have chains, so it doesn't hurt to have one without. She's a chain smoker. It's hard to say if the game's performance on my end was better, or I just wasn't paying attention to it. Because now I'm noticing it's still a bit choppy. Maybe I was just moving too slow to notice the chop. Yo. Delicately around the bends. That was as close as I want to be. For once, my lighting is actually not terrible. My desk is a bit unfortunately located in the room because the one window is there, which is kind of not visible. So that means that the corner of the room where my desk is always a bit darker. Which isn't much of a problem during the day, but, you know, as soon as there is not much light coming in from outside, I have to set up the ring light, which I do have set up right now, but on the other side than I usually have it. More streamer technical talk, jibber jabber. In short, getting good lighting on myself is a challenge. I hope that will be less of a problem after we move, because then I will at least have more freedom in the room as to where my desk can physically be. Try not to get impatient. I can physically feel myself getting impatient to get that final task in Pedro Bay done. That is not the right attitude for this game. Kinda wish there was one fuel station in Pedro Bay instead of two in Mountain River. They're both small maps anyway, so it seems kind of excessive to have two fuel stations in one map. Every time I see the A and K in this paint job, it reminds me very specifically of some kind of ice cream. Because it's kind of a cow motif. And because of the blue and white colors, that reminds me of cold things. So cows and cold equals ice cream in my head. Yeah, careful on this ice, because again, no chains. That could have ended way worse. I was expecting to just hit those rocks and bonk sideways. It's maybe not the correct use of bonk, but I think it gets the sentiment across. Oh, come on. It's just a fence. Not even a fence, it's a flimsy barrier. Random thought, feedback welcome. Probably not going to be something I would want to do anytime soon, but at some point, would it be interesting to do pixel, I mean, like, what's the category of streams on Twitch, like art streams? But would it be interesting to do something like that where I tried to make something with pixel art. Either stuff I would need for the streams or for the channels generally. Some BRB screen or whatever else, banners, logos, emotes, any of that stuff. Or just random quote-unquote art pieces. Like desktop wallpapers or whatever. I don't really dare to think too far in the future with all the pixel art stuff, because there is a chance I'll lose interest. But since I'm so into it currently, the thought has occurred ambitious as it is, to try and make some kind of game. I'm sure that's what everyone says, like as soon as they get into pixel art, no, I'm gonna make a game, and then they don't, or it's terrible. But part of me does like the idea of making my own game. Mind you, I know nothing of game development. I have no ideas at the moment as to what kind of game it would even be. But very long term might be something to work towards. If anything, just to get somewhat decent at making things with pixel art. I would show off my emojis, which I skillfully crafted. But I only have the Twitch ones. The YouTube ones are... I mean, YouTube and Twitch, of course, have different size requirements for that stuff, as far as I'm aware. Immediately that makes me question if I've been approaching it all wrong, because I started with the Twitch emotes. I exported those in the 3 required sizes, 28, 56 and 112. Modding is what you'd like to learn. Mod your own games. I'm not 100% sure I understand what you mean. Like, you mean mod existing games? Because if you mod your own games, isn't that just developing your own games? Or am I being pedantic? If so, I apologize. But yeah, so I uploaded the emotes on Twitch. I'm in the process of converting those to YouTube, because I start from a 28 by 28 size in Sprite, the pixel art app. I can't really resize that to 48 by 48, which is what YouTube seems to require. But I just remembered that I think It said that it has to be minimum 48 by 48. So maybe I could just use like the 56 by 56 ones which I use for Twitch. I could just upload those to YouTube and it would work exactly the same. Just a note of appreciation. The ANK seems to be doing very well with these tires. With the mud tires it was very slow, as you would expect. I think I'm gonna leave these ones on for now, the UOD2. 9 pages of modded files on your SnowRunner. There's a modding community connected to Steam and SnowRunner. So you mean make mods, make your own mods for other people's games? Games made by other people, if that makes any sense. I think I understand what you mean, but do correct me if I don't. I never really got into modding games, like modded Minecraft, sure, back in the day. To improve things to your liking, yeah. I get you. No, it's fine. Most of the time I can guess what you mean. And if I can't guess, then I just ask for clarification. While trying not to sound like a smartass. Which can be a bit of a problem. Just because of my natural, like how I talk, I feel like more often than I would like, I sound a bit smartassy. I sure hope I don't, but you know. Okay, last thing completed. So that is almost everything done. Right. Probably could have done this earlier when I was here. I forgot there was even a contest to do. So let's just do that now. It's the same path we've taken a million times today. I forget where that second tanker was here. I think I'm gonna head here first, although how much do I have left? 66. And diminishing because I leave the engine running. Vastly overthinking this once again. think I should be able to make it here. Like the last time we refueled was... I forget where. It was in Mountain River. So we already drove like once around the map almost. And we still have a third of fuel left, so surely we can make it to either of the tankers. I shall go to the northern one because I think it's closer to the contest. So just back across the river crossing. Yoops. Slippery. My Twitch chat looks absolutely unhinged. Because it's full of messages from me and from my bot. Not even messages from me, I think. Just bot messages. All the timed ones. And the response to the lurk command, which I wrote in the YouTube chat. But the response also showed up on Twitch. I still feel like on that front there's something kind of fundamentally flawed in how I have streamer bots set up and how I have the different commands set up. Because in the individual actions, like I have one action for the lurk command on Twitch with a trigger. Oh, hang on. It just occurred to me. No. Commands. Lurk. Yeah, I think if I slightly change this to lurk Twitch. Command lurk just messages from Twitch. Yeah, and then another command lurk YouTube. The actual command lurk sources just YouTube. Like so, and then in the action is lurk Twitch. Yeah. Lurk YouTube with the lurk YouTube command. Maybe that will have fixed the problem. So if I type my lurk command now in YouTube, it should only show up in YouTube and not on Twitch. Yes. Dare I say, this is fixed. Frustrating as it can be, streamer bot that is, it is very fun to work with. Like, it can be as complicated as you want it to be if you have the knowledge how to set it up complicatedly. And I hesitate to compare it to any kind of real coding because it's not really coding you're doing, but it does feel a bit like coding in how you have to set up your actions and commands very granularly, if that's the right word to use. Like with all the things you want to happen and when you want them to happen and how you want them to be triggered. It is pretty overwhelming, but also pretty satisfying. And I lied because... Wait. Because now we're only have 28 liters left. I'm sure I did just one task here. Oh no, this one. Wait, we did this. But that was the one we just did. I'm very confused right now as to how I survived on 2/3 of a full tank when going from here to here already took 30 liters out. Confusing. Yeah. Maneuvering skills. I hope... what happened there? I hope I will have enough fuel left to even do this contest. It is kind of a long drive. It's long by ANK standards. Yeah, and I think that's gonna be the last thing I do for this stream. It's 5:30 currently. I'll need like a bit over an hour to prepare and eat dinner, which will make it like 7:30ish. Eight at the very latest. And then I will still have 4 to 5 hours for something else. Still not really sure which one. It would be very simple to just install a rule that I can't play the same game 2 streams in a row. Or even the same weekend. Because on Thursday I played some Stardew Valley Yesterday I did some Subnautica, now SnowRunner. So by that logic, I guess, and I did Isaac as well earlier today. So by that logic, it should be Stardew Valley, because it's the longest one ago. Yeah. Time is of no matter. Oh, and no damage. No damage to me or to the scout? It's an important distinction. So I think I do want to go up here to avoid this icy road where I might slip out and crash. So I can go through here, across. I might get a few bangs in the crossing. Forwards. It's not that much shorter, if it is shorter at all, to go along the ice road, so let's do what I said and take the non-icy path. Again, I didn't take note of the time requirement for gold. But time does not matter. Time is an illusion. Can you turn this on? You can, okay. Should help a bit. Although this scout is not very well equipped. Try not to take my turns too wide. It's a scary pit. Would be nice if that tree could break. And actually, I lie. Because the game that's been the longest since the last stream is, in fact, Euro Truck Sim 2. Is that a game you generally like to watch? Just let me know. I do enjoy playing it, even though it's been at least a week, maybe 2 weeks. I'm not sure if it's a very good game to stream because it's very monotonous. Depending on playstyle perhaps, but I like to drive safely. So it's really just driving along a highway in a truck and occasionally missing an exit. Very occasionally hitting other traffic. But I don't know. I've done my share of driving today in SnowRunner. So I think I'd still prefer Subnautica or Stardew Valley over ETS2. Can play a bit more ETS2 tomorrow. Most likely, unless my wife prefers to sleep in. She'll only be back around midnight today. She's at a wedding doing a photo report, is that the word? Reportage. Like an all-day photo shoot, essentially, of the whole wedding. So there's a good chance she'll be kind of knackered in the morning. Then again, there's an equal chance she'll just fall asleep on the couch tonight. Okay, still got gold. I wasn't even paying attention. Just want to check. That's pretty much gonna do it for today. I just want to see what I'll have to do next time. Because Northport, Mountain River, and Pedro Bay are complete in terms of tasks. White Valley still has one task. Which I'm tempted to do now, but I won't, because it's gonna take too long. And then I'm compromising how much time I will have left after dinner. Apologies. Getting a bit congested from talking too much. This doesn't seem too difficult, but it might be deceptive. Because what I think I would do is definitely start from this garage, then go along the roads, get this one, then this one, deliver those, and then go back for the closest one. But I'm not sure. I think this trail is pretty easy. This one is kind of a slog. But I don't have to be there, so I hope I'm not wrong about this one. And then it's just contracts, I think. I can verify that. Tasks. That's the one we still have to do, the one we just checked. Oh, there is one more. Mountains Road in Pedro Bay. Damn it. Where is that gonna be? Probably here, because I haven't been here. I've just gone up to here, because that's where the ANK was. Yeah, I'm quickly gonna check map runner. Northport, no. Where is Pedro Bay? Yeah, Mountains Road is in fact there. What do you have to do? I wish I could see already, but fine. I'll go there now just to accept, but I'll only do it next time. I say that now. I know I will want to still do it right away. So it's just past that place with the fuel tanker, up the road and then left underneath the pipeline, I think. Should be easy enough to find without markers. Skip ahead 10 minutes or so in the future to where I'm lost. Or not lost, but I will have driven past the road I need to go down. Should not go full automatic in the A&K. It's not even a calculated risk, it's just reckless driving. Careful in this thing, because I always get too close to tipping over. It's kind of a miracle I haven't in that specific spot. Dare I say, even in the A&K generally, I haven't tipped over yet, ever since I found it. That might be incorrect. If I did, I think it's safe to say it was only once, which I think is still acceptable. There should be a road left somewhere. Yeah, remember what I said about markers? I'll probably want to stockpile that fuel tanker anyway. Okay, brief stop here. And then might as well just follow the road instead of going through here. I forget if I have the raised suspension. I think I do. I know I was hesitant to even install it because it makes a traditionally or historically tippy truck even more tippy. Oops, careful. This is where the ANK was originally. Just left behind like an old shoe. On the highway. It's always very baffling when sometimes you drive along the highway and like on the middle barrier thing, the Jersey barriers in the middle of the highway, there is one shoe on the barrier. I can only imagine that was found by like construction workers when they were working in that spot on the highway. And they just didn't think anything better to do than to put it there. Explore the mountain peak. That's such a stupid task. Especially because I was there already. And I had a bit of a spat with the Hummer because on the way up I fell off somewhere but was able to winch myself back onto the road path trail. But on the way down I fell off here and got stuck in between and against trees. Had an awful time. It's at the very end of the previous SnowRunner stream, if you're wondering. But that's as close as I've gotten to raging in this whole playthrough. Tasks annoy you a little. You have to do them again too. Yeah, I mean, they're a good way to get to know new maps, I suppose, because they're kind of generally pretty easy. And I find they help to learn the lay of the land just a bit. But yeah, this one annoys me specifically because I was up here. And I was kind of surprised that there wasn't a task up there then. like no marker of any kind. And now it turns out I do have to go there. And I don't really want to do it in a bigger truck. This is pretty narrow. So it's gonna be the Loadstar, most likely. Which must be in the garage. But not this garage. Then this garage, yeah, Loadstar. I've already been there to unlock the tower. In this case, no. This is not a map tower, just a random radio tower. This was a tower. Is a tower. Here is one. And here. And here. I forgot there were 4. Seems excessive, again, in such a small map to have 4 towers. But yeah, I will leave this here for now in case I will need it, which I'm sure I will. So yeah, I'm gonna have to drive another scout out here just for this task, and then we can carry on with the contracts. I want to make extra sure. Yeah, actually that one I want to do first. Or either of those. First those 2 contracts and then first those 2 tasks rather. And then the contracts. But that's gonna do it for now. Thanks for hanging, as always. I will go have dinner. It's currently 6 p.m. So yeah, like 7:30ish. I'll aim for 7:30, but it might be closer to 8 when I'll be back. Game to be decided right before I start, because I can't really decide right now. Yeah, I really shouldn't say what game, because even though I kind of feel like playing Stardew Valley now, that might change by the time I actually start streaming again, so there's no point in forecasting anything. Might be more SnowRunner, might be Stardew Valley, might be Subnautica. But yeah, thank you for hanging, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.